Just obviously, you were adding Senga and McGill. What went into Brazoban specifically taking him off?
Yeah, going through potential scenarios and length, and who could give us a lot of pitches and things like that. We thought that it was best. We get McGill. Obviously, we're getting Senga, and then it wasn't an easy one, but we decided to go that route.
Okay, we're going to go to Mark over there in the middle on the left.
What's the thought process with Winker over JD?
Yeah, I mean, facing Wheeler, when you look at his splits and righty-lefty, JD is going to play a huge role in this series, especially they got two left-handed pitchers, and then out of the bullpen, they got some left-hander as well. So the fact that he's not in the starting lineup, he's going to play a big role for us this series.
Winker looked pretty banged up the other day. Did you have to check with him just to?
Yeah, I checked with him yesterday. He came in, got treatment. It's good to go.
Going to go over there on the left in the corner, first row.
Hey, Carlos. Kodai had mentioned a couple of weeks ago about not wanting to sort of like mess things up with the rotation and the team. So what did you have to hear from him in order to know that that wasn't going to be an issue for him, like just mentally?
Yeah, the first thing that we wanted to hear was that he's ready to go, that he was feeling 100%, that there was no issues, no hesitation by any means with any of his body parts or anything, and he was just a conviction. That's the biggest thing that we wanted to hear from him. And then as far as like messing with some of the other guys, I had conversations with some of them, with some potential scenarios. But when we first heard from Senga and when we found out that he was potentially going to be a possibility, we didn't know how the last year was going to play out. So we didn't know if Quintana was going to end up pitching. We didn't know who was, if Peterson was going to be used out of the bullpen. So, but I think it came down from Senga being healthy and he telling us, I'm ready to go. So.
Far left, Howie.
Carlos, with this insane travel and schedule you've had lately, what was it like to have a day off yesterday, even with a late arrival the night before?
No, it was nice. It was nice to have a day off. A few guys came in, pitchers came in, played catch, and some of the guys that needed treatment came in. But it was much needed because of what you said, intense games, the traveling, the back and forth, doubleheader, celebrations, and just everything that we went through. So being able to get here and have a kind of like a reset day for everyone was really good.
Before the rally in the ninth inning the other night, in your mind, just because of that travel and the wear and tear, were you concerned that the tank was empty or getting empty? And,
Before the ninth?
Yeah.
No, I never thought of that. Then like I said, I don't know, I think it was yesterday. The whole time, I had a good feeling. I didn't feel like we were out of that game. And when I was looking at who was coming up, I was like, we need to get Pete at the plate. So I never felt like, oh, this is over, or the energy's down, or we emptied the tank and we got nothing left. That wasn't never the feeling in the dugout. The whole time, from my end, it was we need to get Pete at the plate, and we did.
Okay. We're going to go to Dave in the middle in the back.
Hey, Carlos, was it good to hear from Senga yesterday that you have him for 200 pitches, if necessary?
I was watching it live. I started laughing. And now somebody asked, I think it was you, when was the last time he threw 200 pitches? I don't know. When was the last time anybody threw 200 pitches? So.
5 years ago.
I know, I saw it.
But would you put, for the little as you know about him, Carlos, because it's only your first year with him, would you put anything by him based on kind of who he is and what he's capable of?
Yeah, trying to get to know him as much as possible. He's funny at times. He's very meticulous. He's very detail oriented, and he's been kind of hard because he has, at Citi Field he was around, but then he was never around when we were going, even during the regular season. But yeah, man, like we trust him, and like I said yesterday, the fact that he was the one approaching us, like, it made me and all of us feel better about the decision.
Okay, we're going to go down here to Tim on the right.
This year and years past before you arrived, the Mets have actually fared pretty well against Wheeler and Nola. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. The one thing I know is that they're nasty. They're pretty good. It's not an easy matchup. Wheeler, he's been doing it for a lot of years. Nola, same thing. There's a reason why. They're such a great team. They got those two at the top of the rotation. That's a deep lineup. That's a deep pitching staff. Got a great manager and great coaches. So, but back to Wheeler and Nola, they're really good at what they do.
Okay, we're going to go here on the left in the second row.
Similarly to what Dave asked, you not having necessarily the longest relationship with Senga, how do you kind of know when maybe he's done or when you can kind of push him in a first start back?
Yeah, like I say, I think we have an idea of what we want to do here, and I'm gonna have to make a decision. Yeah, I'll talk to him, I'll ask him, but we have, like I said, we have an idea of what we're doing there. So hopefully we get to a point where that relationship continues to develop, and there's more conversation, kind of like what I have with the starters that I have the whole year, and I know when to push it and when not to. I don't think I'm there with Senga.
Okay, right here on the right, second row.
How much do you rely on Jeremy Hefner in that situation, given that he does know Senga pretty well?
A lot. And I've been having those conversations with him. When he pitched against the Braves, the only outing, I was going off half because he's the one, like you said, he had him last year, and they have a pretty good relationship, and I'm anticipating that being the case here.
What has Hef told you about how Senga works in games?
As far as?
Just like maybe his tells of when he's getting fatigued, or how he likes to approach certain situations. Yeah,
you'll watch the game and you watch, how he's throwing the baseball, how he's coming out, is he locating, how he's, some of his pitches, the movement and the characteristics and things like that. And then, are there stressful pitches? And then, when he comes in, you'll talk to him. And like I said, Hef is going to have a lot of saying in there.
Anything else for Carlos? Good? All right. Thanks, Carlos.
Yep.